Hi, friends. So today we're going to be learning about how to use nonfiction texts to learn new information. So our expectations for today is please stay muted during the lesson. I'll answer questions at the end. I need your listening ears and your observant eyes. And we are going to get started for today. So why is learning how to use nonfiction text important? Well, the author uses the text features as a map so readers can find information easily. It also helps us become better readers and writers. So this is our anchor chart, how to use nonfiction text to learn new information. So first on our anchor chart is we need to remember to read headings. Does anyone know what a heading is? Right, a heading is a large print words above paragraphs in the text or digital page. Those headings are going to tell you what that paragraph is going to be about. Next on our anchor chart is reading first and last sentences. In nonfiction paragraphs, first and last sentences are usually the main idea or most important information in that paragraph. And we will go over some examples later so you can see. And then the next thing on our list is read the images and captions. Does anyone know what a caption is? Right. Captions are short explanations of the images. So when we're researching, we're going to find ourselves coming across photographs, charts, graphics, and any other visual source of information. Well, underneath those pictures or charts, there'll be captions, which are going to tell us what is going on in the picture or what is in the picture. And it's going to give us that information that we may need. So reading headings, just as mentioned on the anchor chart, headings make it easier to find specific information that we're needing. So when we're doing our graphic organizers, on the top of each block in our graphic organizer, it's asking us to find certain information. So headings are going to make it easier for us to find that information. There are large print words above paragraphs in text and digital page. Keep an eye out for bolded letters. Does anyone know what bolded letters are? Right, good job. Bolded letters are darker, thicker text in the information that we're looking at. So below, we see an example of our heading. It says, what dogs eat. That is our heading. It's at the top of our paragraph. It is in bolded letters, and it's telling us what that paragraph is going to be about. So what dogs eat. Dogs eat food and treats. They also like cheese. Dogs should not eat chocolate. We also need to look for bold print. Bold words are made with thick, dark, and heavy lines. They show you what words are important. So for instance, if we look down below, this zebra is bolded, meaning that is what is important for us to know. This zebra has black and white stripes. So zebra is the key word. Next, we're going to be looking at table of contents. Table of contents is going to tell us what the book or the web page is talking about and where each of the information is. So for instance, in my example, there's a table of contents that's all about dogs. Well, it tells us an introduction is on page 1. All information about what dogs do is on page 2. all information on what dogs eat. It's on page 4. And all information on what dogs look like is on page 5, and so on. So when you're looking and researching with the book, your table of contents is usually going to be on the first few pages of a book. And it'll say table of contents and give you page numbers of specific information. If you're looking for it on a website, sometimes it'll just be a box on the website that you're on, and it'll say table of contents, and it'll have different subjects of what you want to look for. And we'll go more over that later. So next, we're going to go over read first and last sentences. In nonfiction paragraphs, first and last sentences are usually the main or important information. So we're going to read this top square. It says anaconda. So I'm going to read the first and last. The anaconda is a type of snake that lives in the rainforest of South America. Then I'm going to look at the last sentence. Anacondas are nocturnal. They have food they hunt for food such as other reptiles, fish, and birds at night. So it's giving us information that we may need about anacondas. Sorry about that. And another one is gorilla. We're going to look at the last square on the very bottom. Gorillas are primates and live in groups called troops. Then we're going to look at the very last sentence. Gorillas have no predators other than humans. Interesting. So our first and last sentences are going to give us a lot of information that we may need. So next, we're going to read the images and captions. So photographs, charts, graphics are visual sources of information. Captions are short explanations of images. So captions have information near or below the photograph or illustration. They tell you more about the picture. So in our example below, there's a picture of a tortoise. The caption underneath the picture is, "This tortoise moves slowly across the grass. It enjoys sitting in the shade and eating leafy plants." Detectives, get ready to investigate. We will now be exploring Kittle and keeping an eye out for text features that we just went over that will help us learn new information. So I'm going to go over to Kittle. I'm going to share my screen once more. So the information that we are going to be researching will either be from our second grade Black History Month project or from our second grade unit project space. So whichever one you decided, on the very back of each packet is a graphic organizer. You're going to fill in that graphic organizer with information you find using Kittle or nonfiction books. So right now I'm going to show you how to use Kittle. I chose to give an example of Harriet Tubman. So I typed in Harriet Tubman on Kittle, and it gave me Harriet Tubman Facts for Kids. So I clicked on it. Now, what are some text features that we went over that we want to look for that will help us gain important information? Right, headings. So our heading that I see here is Harriet Tubman Facts for Kids. I see quick facts for Harriet Tubman. Let's scroll down and see if we see any more headings. Early life and education. Let's keep scrolling. Remember, headings are on top of paragraphs, and they give us a summary of what that paragraph's going to be about. So childhood is another heading. This tells us that these two paragraphs are going to be about Harriet Tubman's childhood. Then there's head injury, family and marriage, then images for kids of Harriet Tubman. What other text features do we see on here? Right. We see an image of Harriet Tubman, and we see captions right below telling us this was taken in 1885. It also gives us more images and captions. Tubman helped John Brown plan and recruit for the raid at Harper's Ferry. All right, friends. We're also going to look at first and last sentences. Let's scroll down to her childhood. So we're going to look at the first sentence. Tubman's mother was assigned to the big house and had very little time for her family. And then our last sentence, she found ways to resist, such as running away for 5 days, wearing layers of clothing as protection against beatings, and fighting back. We'll also read our first and last sentence of family and marriage. Around 1844, Tubman married a free black man named John Tubman. Little is known about him of their time together. And then we're going to go to our last sentence. When she returned to Manchester to tell her husband to come with him, he was remarried already. So remember, sometimes it'll give us the information we need. Sometimes we need to keep investigating with our detective eyes. So I am also going to look up an example to show you with our space project. So I'm just going to type in a random, let's just type in Pluto. We don't want Pluto Disney, we want Pluto the planet. So I found Pluto Facts for Kids. So I'm going to click on that one. Remember, I'm looking at headings, bolded letters. I'm looking at images and the captions underneath to gain that information. I'm looking at first and last sentences. Great job, my friends. So you'll find tons of information. Just keep your eyes out for it. And remember the text features that we learned about. Headings, reading first and last sentences, and reading the images and captions. And as mentioned before, I talked about a table of contents. Well, on Kindle, this is how your table of contents is going to be. So if I wanted to find out specific information about Pluto's moons, I'm just going to click on moons, and it's going to take me directly to where I want to go. All right, my friends. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to give you examples from books. So I'm using this nonfiction book, The Universe. And I am going, so this is How the Universe Works. I already see my number one heading that says How the Universe Works. And then If you see right here, it says elements and atoms. There's many different headings. If you see on the bottom, right here, it says magnesium. So this paragraph's all about magnesium. It has many pictures with captions of what is happening. So for instance, this picture of Saturn says Saturn, its rings, and 3 of its satellites photographed by the Hubble Space Telescope. Now I'm going to go on to, I have this book called Little Legends, or Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. So I'm just going to go to a random page. So automatically I see a heading that says Bessie Coleman. So I know that this page is all about Bessie Coleman. So I don't see any pictures with captions, but I do see illustration. And above it, it said, I made up my mind to try. I tried and I was successful, which tells us a little bit about how Bessie Coleman thought. And another strategy we can use is reading our first and last sentences of our paragraph. So Bessie grew up in a small segregated town in Texas. At home with 3 younger siblings around, she had a lot of responsibilities. And then the last sentence is, Bessie knew that one day she would leave her small town. She moved to Chicago with her older brothers. And then another one said, they told her all about being in France and how the women there could fly planes, unlike the women in America. This got Bessie curious. So remember to look for our first and last sentences because it can show us information we may need for our graphic organizers. And that is it, my friends. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or show up to our ELA Help Me, and we will be here to help you. You all did amazing. You were amazing detectives. I loved it all. Just remember, if you have any questions, ELA Help Me or email us, and we are here to help. You all did amazing. Great job, kiddos.